In a chilling escalation of the ongoing conflict, Russia has just unleashed what experts are calling the largest drone assault in modern history. This was not just another attack, it was a calculated high-tech operation designed to send a message to Ukraine and the world. The scale and intensity of this drone swarm have left military analysts stunned, and the consequences are already rippling across the region. So, how did this unprecedented assault unfold? Let's break down the timeline and the tactics that made this attack so devastating. In the dead of night, as most Ukrainians slept, hundreds of Russian drones took to the skies, crossing the border in coordinated waves. The attack was meticulously planned, with drones launched from multiple locations to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses and create confusion among military responders. This wasn't just about brute force, it was about using cutting-edge technology to exploit vulnerabilities. Military experts on television and online forums have been quick to point out that this kind of swarm tactic represents a new era in warfare, where speed, numbers, and artificial intelligence can tip the balance in a matter of hours. The world woke up to breaking news. Russia had launched its biggest drone attack ever on Ukraine, shattering previous records and setting a new, grim benchmark for drone warfare. The operation was not only massive in scale but also highly sophisticated, with drones programmed to target specific sites and evade detection. Imagine the night sky lit up by the blinking lights of hundreds of unmanned aircraft, each one carrying explosives or surveillance equipment. In a single, shocking night, these drones descended upon Ukrainian cities, their engines buzzing like a swarm of mechanical locusts. The psychological impact alone was enormous, as residents watched the sky fill with threats they could barely see or hear until it was too late. The primary targets? Ukraine's critical infrastructure. Power plants, energy substations, and water facilities were all in the crosshairs. The goal was clear: cripple the country's ability to function, plunge cities into darkness, and disrupt daily life on a massive scale. Footage from the ground shows drones zeroing in on these vital sites, their payloads detonating with devastating precision. But the drones didn't stop there. Government buildings, administrative centers, and even schools were hit. The intent was to sow chaos, undermine public confidence, and make every Ukrainian feel vulnerable, no matter where they lived or worked. Emergency crews rushed to the scenes, battling fires and rescuing the injured amid the chaos of urban warfare. Major cities like Kyiv and Kharkiv bore the brunt of the assault, but the impact was felt far beyond the city limits. Explosions rocked neighborhoods, shattering windows and sending shockwaves through communities. In the aftermath, streets were littered with debris, and the haunting sound of air raid sirens echoed through the night. Fires erupted across multiple districts, lighting up the night sky and forcing first responders into action. Emergency sirens wailed as firefighters and medics raced to contain the damage and save lives. The sense of urgency was palpable, with every second counting in the race to prevent further tragedy. For ordinary Ukrainians, the attack was a nightmare come to life. Families grabbed what they could and rushed to bomb shelters, children clinging to their parents as explosions thundered overhead. Subways and basements became makeshift sanctuaries as civilians huddled together, waiting for the all-clear. Tragically, the human cost was immediate and heartbreaking. Several lives were lost in the chaos, including an infant whose family had no time to escape. Ambulances ferried the wounded to overcrowded hospitals, while communities mourned the loss of loved ones. The grief was raw, and the anger at the senseless violence was palpable. But this attack was about more than just physical destruction. It was a psychological assault, designed to break the will of the Ukrainian people and their defenders. Military analysts have described it as a form of psychological warfare, aiming to instill fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the hearts of civilians and soldiers alike. Yet in the face of this onslaught, Ukraine's spirit has not been broken. Across the country, soldiers manned anti-aircraft positions, volunteers organized morale-boosting rallies, and social media lit up with messages of resilience and defiance. The Ukrainian people have shown time and again that they will not be cowed by terror. President Zelensky addressed the nation, vowing that Ukraine would stand strong and fight back. The Ukrainian flag waved defiantly at rallies and on the front lines, a symbol of unity and determination. Soldiers and civilians alike have made it clear they are not backing down, no matter how intense the attacks become. In response to the growing threat, Ukraine has ramped up its domestic weapons production at an unprecedented pace. Factories are working around the clock, producing everything from drones to anti-aircraft systems. The country's defense industry has become a vital part of the war effort, providing the tools needed to defend against future attacks. Today, nearly 60% of Ukraine's defense gear is made at home, a remarkable achievement given the circumstances. This shift has allowed Ukraine to adapt quickly, developing new technologies and tactics to counter the evolving threat from Russia. The focus is now on building smarter, more resilient air defenses and expanding the country's own drone capabilities. Ukrainian engineers and scientists are working tirelessly to improve anti-drone systems, test new weapons, and ensure that the country can withstand even the most sophisticated attacks. The battle for control of the skies is now a race between innovation and destruction, with both sides pushing the limits of modern technology. Still, Russia's latest drone swarm reveals a dangerous new playbook. By launching hundreds of drones at once, they hope to overwhelm even the most advanced air defense systems. This strategy is about quantity as much as quality, flooding the skies with so many targets that some are bound to slip through. Military analysts warn that this tactic could become the norm in future conflicts. The sheer number of drones can punch through layered defenses, forcing defenders to use up valuable ammunition and resources. It's a war of attrition, fought not just with firepower, but with logistics and endurance. Experts are now debating what this means for the future of warfare. Are we entering an era where mass drone strikes, digital battles, and constant escalation become the new normal? The lines between traditional and technological warfare are blurring, and the battlefield is evolving faster than ever before. The question on everyone's mind: can Ukraine keep up, and what will it take to survive in this new age of conflict? As we look ahead, one thing is clear: the nature of war is changing. Robots, autonomous vehicles, and artificial intelligence are taking center stage, raising profound questions about the future of combat. Will wars soon be fought by machines instead of soldiers? And if so, what does that mean for the people caught in the crossfire? This story is far from over. The world is watching as Ukraine adapts, resists, and fights back against overwhelming odds. For the latest updates on this rapidly evolving conflict and to understand how technology is reshaping the battlefield, make sure to subscribe. The next chapter in this war could change everything we know about modern warfare.